The Hanging Garden of Babylon. As the story goes, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II decided to build a garden for his homesick wife, Amytis of Media. Amytis was homesick, longing for the lush, beautiful vegetation and grand mountains of her home country. And after marrying Nebuchadnezzar II, Amytis now found herself surrounded by broad plains, reedy marshlands and arid deserts, far from what she was used to. The Hanging Garden of Babylon was an effort from Nebuchadnezzar II to please, or at the very least, ease Amytis' yearning for her home country. The garden itself was quite impressive. It was 75 foot tall, with lush vegetation cascading like waterfalls, exotic plants, herbs and flowers filling the garden with this beautiful aroma that just really stuck with you. Towering structure, tall stone columns and imposing terraces dotted the garden, and to top it all off, an impressive irrigation system made sure every single plant was more than taken care of. And it's only fitting that such an impressive structure became known as one of the 7 wonders of the ancient world. But there's one aspect of the Hanging Garden that separates it from the other wonder, and I'm afraid it's not something good. While the other wonders have easily traceable and definitive evidence proving their existence, the Hanging Garden of Babylon does not. And ever since the 20th century, archaeologists have been searching for any evidence or any signs that there was a Hanging Garden of Babylon, and even till this day they have been unsuccessful. And this leads to a major question that needs to be answered. Did the Hanging Garden of Babylon ever actually existed? Our knowledge of the Hanging Garden stems from second-hand accounts written centuries after the garden was allegedly destroyed. Many of these accounts drawing upon the work of even earlier historians and writers, works that don't even exist anymore. What's even more interesting is that the Babylonian texts from the time where the garden should have existed never actually mention any hanging or elevated garden. And in the writing of Greek historian Herodotus, there were never any mentions of any remarkable garden in Babylon, even though it was written just a century after Nebuchadnezzar's reign. This leads to the conclusion that the garden was either really insignificant, or it simply did not exist. This was the conclusion that many people came to regarding the Hanging Garden. But there's a recent theory that aims to explain the existence and the mystery surrounding the Hanging Garden of Babylon. A theory that could possibly change everything. And it all starts with Stephanie Dalley. Stephanie Dalley is a retired research fellow at the University of Oxford. She asserts that the reason no hanging garden has ever been found was because there never was one in Babylon. In her theory, she proposes that the actual Hanging Garden is located 300 miles north of Babylon at the city of Nineveh, the capital of the now dissolved Assyrian Empire. While it existed, the Assyrian Empire was a rival to the Babylonian Empire, and at one point did manage to successfully conquer Babylon. During that period of conquest, Nineveh became known as the New Babylon, and the city entrances were even renamed after the entrances in Babylon. Stephanie Dalley explains that there's a possible confusion in which Babylon the ancient texts actually referred to when talking about the Hanging Garden of Babylon, because at one point Nineveh was also known as Babylon. And to add more weight to her theory, there is some very compelling evidence in Nineveh suggesting the existence of a hanging garden. In the royal palace of Nineveh, for example, there's a bas-relief or wall sculptures depicting a lush garden being watered by an aqueduct, kinda similar to the Hanging Garden of Babylon. In the ancient texts of Assyrian king Sennacherib, there are extensive mentions of an unrivaled palace and a wonder for all people. He also heavily mentions a water-raising screw, similar to an Archimedes screw, a tool used to move water vertically. Coupled with the discovery of an extensive aqueduct system during an excavation in Nineveh, it seems that all the pieces are just pointing towards Stephanie Dalley's theory being correct. Could the Hanging Garden of Babylon really be in Nineveh instead? There's a lot of romanticism surrounding the Hanging Garden of Babylon. It's a fantastical structure, unique in its design and the amount of beautiful exotic plants that filled it. It has a beautiful story about a king going out of his way to create a place where his queen could feel at home. But in reality, there's a lot of uncertainty and mystery surrounding the Hanging Garden. From its origins, location, or existence, one cannot simply say if it's real or simply a writer's imagination. To me, the word wonder refers to something that is marvelous or phenomenal, even if it's something that never existed. Even if the Hanging Garden of Babylon wasn't real, that there wasn't this beautiful structure with plants cascading like waterfalls and a story about a king and a queen, just the idea of it's enough to make the Hanging Garden of Babylon a wonder for me. And I want to know if you would feel the same way. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. See you next time.